This is really to just discuss yesterday's channeling and where do we go next with the 9-9 gateway, how it's looking, what I saw, what I channeled. There is a lot going on in the energy fields at the moment. People are really suffering with the feeling of dizziness and balance, that kind of thing. So we need to be aware that, you know, falls will happen, hitting your head, hurting your back, hips, legs, feet, that kind of thing. And I'm heard of another fall today. So I've heard of 3 or 4 falls in the last week. And it's this energy coming in. So when I channeled yesterday, hi Kelly, how are you, hun? Hi Tamara, hi Teresa. When I channeled yesterday the New Earth Council, and I got a transmission in to help you stay calm, to help you work through the 9-9 challenging gateway of change, that you can listen to every day for the next week, and it will help you get through. Now, Commander Ernwood, he allowed it to be like a transmission so that you could work with it and work with it with your body, so that as you work through, it helps you to stay balanced, helps you to stay calm, connected, and able to work through it, because they're pouring these severe energies into us to adjust us for change. So you're being shifted out of one space here where your comfort zone is, and you're being shifted over to here, moved over here. So you're sort of between two places, and this is where you get that tipping feeling, or that you know, no balance, and your legs will step forward but your body doesn't move with it. That's all part of this change coming in, being in that whole 9-9. You're in a gateway, you're in between. But after 9-9, you should be fine. It will shift, it will clear. But it pays to do the transmission and keep those codes that the codes that he brought through will help you stay focused. But I want to talk a little bit more about what I saw, because I feel for you to understand just what it was, where the channeling was coming from, and how and what I saw, because it really did move me. After I came off the live, my heart was just bursting with, I don't know, maybe pride. I don't know how to explain it, because I've never felt it before. But when a commander salutes you, it's the highest form of respect and appreciation. And when he saluted me, it was my whole Palladian being, and Miria, that is my Palladian name, finally came into fruition. It was like, wow, that's who I am. That's who I truly am. This is where I am. You know, it really hit me. It was hard to stay together for you guys, because I was channeling messages from the council via him, through me, to you. And then to get that salute at the end, it wasn't just to me, it was to all us light workers, but specifically, that's how I felt, and that's how I took it on. And I cried afterwards. In fact, just talking about it makes me want to cry, because people that salute you, I mean, you've only got to look at the military and the way they salute Trump, with that respect, that appreciation. And that's what he was doing for me. And it was like, wow, I don't care how many awards, certificates, acknowledgements I get, but to receive a salute for my service, for my work, that's my whole purpose. That's what I'm here to do. And it totally just blew my mind. And I've never had, in all the time that I've channeled galactic beings, Pleiadians, Andromedans, any I've never been saluted to, and it was like, wow, thank you. You know, it was just like, my heart was just overjoyed. It was just incredible. Now, if you have any questions down here, folks, so when I arrived there, while I was channeling with you, I immediately got transported to a conference room on a ship. I don't know the ship, and I'm not meant to know, because obviously for security purposes. And as I described to you, it was a half moon table, and it was the world map, but it was the flat earth map. So you had the ice wall around the edge, and then you had the world in the middle. And I was amazed. I was looking down at it because I went, oh, wow, that's new earth. That's new earth forming. They're showing me, where am I? And I looked up, and that's when he saw me, and he went, oh, because he had been looking down, and he went, didn't see me there. And he went, greetings. And I went, greetings. And I said to you, he's saying that to me, because I'm doing a three-way conversation. I'm having my conversation with the council, but I'm also having a conversation live on Facebook via me. So that's what that was, right? Hi Sandra, how are you, hon? Hi Kylie. And the New Earth Council I've met before. We've met them in a lot of our meditations and a lot of work that our team do with activations, that kind of thing. But what I saw was representation of nearly every type of galactic being that is part of the awakening, of the ascension of the new earth, and the ones that are wanting to help us. Because what we have to remember is what happens here on earth with this new earth being created, and it's the first time it's ever happened in history, and galactic history, world history, whatever. So we're all being watched to see how we perform and what actually happens. And so they all want to be part of it, to support and help us. And so they get selected and go on the New Earth Council. It's a high council of selected beings from different planets. And I saw the Ascension Masters, which we've worked with before, and they were two of them, two white, tall Ascension Masters. I saw, so I'm looking at the commander here. He's in the middle. He's the speaker. And to my right, so he's looking this way, so it's the other side of him, were the Ascension Masters, some Andromedans, and some alpha beings, and on the left was two Syrians, Arcturians, Lyrians. And the Lyrians looked like they were in sort of a soldier, you know, they had the lion faces, but they had sort of like soldier military. You know, like Michael Jackson used to wear with all the buckles, that kind of wear. Was really different. I can't remember what was right at the very end there in that group. It was like a Congress room, or when government's in there in Parliament, and you know they've all come together, and you've got the speaker at the front of the house, and then you've got the council members, but they're around the big table, which is a half crescent type moon, and it's filled in with the map of Earth. It's just incredible. What I was trying to take it all in, and I was taking it all in, but trying to share the message as well with you, and that's why I wanted to explain more of what I saw. Acknowledgement of all our service. Exactly. It was a service acknowledgement, you know, the salute. Exactly. And so then when he messaged me, the message that I got from him was from every single being in that room, connecting with him and channeling through him to me to give to you. So it wasn't just directly from him, it was from the whole council. But when I got into the room, and it was really amazing, and I said this to you, Teresa, today on the phone, I said it was like code was in the air, like it was in the room. It was, you could hear the code, but you didn't hear much speaking, because the way they were communicating was all indigo and consciousness communication, but you could pick up on it, you felt it, you sensed it, you heard it, you saw it. It's like, you know, when you see a big biology sum on a glass screen and all you see is the light language symbols. I could feel the symbols in the ear of the consciousness messages, which I haven't felt before for a long time. Well, I have felt it, but not for a very long time. So it was a different level of meeting. And it was a meeting that was about to go ahead, but because I came in the room, I was transported there to receive the message to give back to you. They were all stopped and paying attention and channeling through Commander to me, which I delivered to you. So it was a three-way conversation, but it was, in the meantime, I was trying not to dart my eyes around to see, you know, what I was looking at and what was in the room. And it was massive. It was a massive room, and it was beautiful. The energy, the frequency, the love. You know, they tell you go by consciousness and heart, you know, by how you feel in your heart. When you meet people, not only did you feel it in your heart, you felt it in your soul. Everything came together and you just felt it all together. It was pretty overwhelming. Multitasking, Amelia, fascinating information. Thank you. Always the multitasker. So if you have any questions, put them down here, because I'm happy to answer them, because it was really involved, that moment. And what I've done is I've sectioned off all the channeling I did yesterday. So there's the two Marys, there's Saint Germain, and then there's the message from the Commander to you all. And I've put them up on YouTube, because Facebook takes everything down after 30 days. And so I've put it somewhere safe. So you've got the activation up there, the transmission to use whenever you feel you're getting a little bit unbalanced or whatever, go and use it. And the same with the two Marys for the womb. So that womb frequency that she came through with, that is used for the divine feminine healing, because the divine feminine is in need of still healing, and the womb needs healing. We are womb man, so we are the Godman womb man, and we are part of God, and that's why we're not woman, we're womb man. So we are actually the womb man, and we are man of God. So we are God-man, not human. Human is a low-dimensional name they gave us to keep us in a lower vibration. We're actually man of God, God-man. So we're the woman of God-man. And, you know, and this is really important, because with the 9-9 gateway, it's about healing the divine feminine for change. And then we go into the 10-10 gateway, which is the higher consciousness. And this is a world consciousness that's going to shift. But only certain people will take that shift and go with it, because it depends on where they are in their personal journey, whether they choose to do that shift and become that consciously awake. But at the same time, we are going to be healing the divine masculine, because the divine masculine is still very much in its ego, and therefore to move into that higher consciousness, to be part of that healing, the divine masculine side needs to be healed. So 99 gateway of change is divine feminine also, and 1010 high consciousness, world high consciousness, will be divine masculine. So there's some really cool stuff coming through that I needed to share with you. And that's what the two Marys wanted to do. They wanted to bring in, give the healing to the divine feminine first over the 9-9, because it's an end and we're birthing something new. So it had to be womb man healing for something new. And now we're going into something new, the divine masculine, the man part of the womb will next be healed to be the new beginnings, the new earth final stages. So it's a really important period that we're going into. The other message we got was Saint Germain and the plant life and the plant medicine and how that's going to look. And it's going to be absolutely amazing what the plant's going to be doing for us. And it's interesting because, excuse me, every time people come in here now, they go, oh, your plants are so alive, they look so good. And I play frequency music to them when I'm here alone, and it's the music, you know, I play plant music for them. And even outside in the garden, however, we've had a lot of frost this winter, so they're not doing that good, but ones inside are doing good. And that was one thing that Saint Germain said. He said he was, you know, telling us how far we've come with the plant life now and where that's going. And it's because we've had all this cleansing on earth. We've had all this rain. We've had these storms. We've had hurricanes. Everything's getting disinfectant. Everyone's being cleansed. Their land's being cleared. The chemicals that sit in the soil, it's all being cleared. Everything's being cleansed so that the plant life will now take off and grow. So his message was promising. You know, like, we've been doing the work, people, and we're seeing the results of it. So that's really good. That's really exciting. So that was yesterday's channeling that I wanted to talk about. After a long break from my essential oils, I've just gotten back into them after nearly dying in hospital a few weeks ago. My body is responding so well. Oh, wow, Sandra. What happened in hospital? And, of course, the essential oils is what we had in the beginning of time. We used the oils from our plants. God gave us a plant for every condition on earth. And, you know, Big Pharma is poison. We know that now. We know that that was created to actually make us feel worse. Double ammonia. Oh, my goodness me. Yeah, that's bad. I almost died with that too. Did they put you on a ventilator? I had it years ago, and the same thing. I went to Auckland Hospital, North Shore Hospital, almost killed me. Wrong medications. So the staff aren't fully trained either, or they're not fully kept up with protocol. And this is what I said yesterday. The medical system is collapsing. It's on its way out. The plant-based and the wellness centres are now coming in and taking over. This is what we'll be seeing more and more of. So thank God for that. You weren't meant to die. You were supposed to go through that journey so you can report it and be part of it to help with the whistle-blowing kind of bringing it down, because it is collapsing. It's so hard to get a doctor these days. They've all gone. They've all been arrested. They've gone. And so what's happening is we're getting this new system back in, which was the old system of plant-based medicine and spiritual healing, galactic healing, med beds, technology from off-planet is coming back to help us. Yeah, I bet you are so much stronger. Anything that you go through like that just makes you even more stronger, makes you more determined. So tomorrow, even though it's the 8th, because Tuesday's the 9th here, we will be doing our team activation of the 9-9 gateway, and we'll be going to the central sun. So the central sun is connected to these codes. It's the central sun that we're going via the 9-9 gateway, because the central sun is what gives us our light codes, and central sun is rebirthing those codes within us and giving us new ones to go with the change. So it's connected to the Ra energy, which is the solar plexus. So with the Ra energy and the sun solar plex energy, you need to be looking after this part of your body. And what happened was we had the womb healing come in to help us adjust to these new codes that will be coming in via Ra. So you see, the two Marys already knew, gave me the channeling to get this happening and get it prepared to receive these new codes coming in. Yeah, so what I've done on YouTube, I've put up the full recording of yesterday's update and activations, transmissions. I've also sectioned off the channeling parts from the Ascended Masters and the New Earth High Council. So if you need to use them for your own purpose, in the sense of helping you get through, or you want to do the womb healing, it's all there. It's up there, plus Saint Germain's message. Looking at tomorrow and how that's looking, everything has been activated on the 8th from here, a day before the 9th, so that the 9-9 gateway will be wide open for everyone, and it'll make it so much easier for everyone to receive these codes. So we're going in to do that tomorrow, open them up, activate them, and allow them to come through a little bit more freer, but easier for everyone to accept. So we've already received the codes from Mary, and so now we just go and take those codes and we reactivate them into the gateway for people to accept via Ra. And Ra's really, he's really powerful. He when I channel him, he makes me quite physically shake and sweat, because his strength and his energy that comes through is really powerful. But he has really good messages, so that's going to be fun tomorrow. The other thing you've got to remember when we meet with galactic beings, and the thing is, they transmit their codes with us all the time. So unless they give us a physical healing, and that might be in these new salt baths or med bed technology, light technology, crystal technology, just coming into contact with them and touching and shaking hands with them, you're exchanging galactic codes for yourself. And so what happens is, when you come into contact with them, you get enhanced more. Your crystalline body gets enhanced more. You become more enhanced. And sometimes you don't have to have a conversation with them, because it's all here and here. It's all consciousness. And so when people have been working with the galactics, or they're bringing in their codes or bringing in transmissions, it's all about moving the energy, moving that space to make it possible to come in. And it's a lot of work. It's not easy work for people to channel and to bring it through. It's a lot harder than you think, because you're still part Godman, part crystalline. Until you're fully crystalline again, it's very hard to bring them through the way we do. And, you know, a lot of people say to me, oh, what would it be like if you were in a room with a whole lot of galactic beings? Well, that's what it's like. You're just constantly receiving code, transmissions, and you're having conversations this way. If you really do talk with a voice, it's through here. Yeah, so that's kind of what I wanted to share with you. Where that makes sense. We share our codes too. Yeah, we do. And, you know, the thing is, it's like when we walk on the ground and we ground ourselves, we share code then. The grass shares its codes. It's the same with plant life. It's the same with animals. That's why they tell you you spiritually have to be careful who touches your body. This is why it's very important to make sure whoever comes into contact with you, whether they're doing healing, massage, whatever, what's their spiritual cleansing methods like, because they can transmit it on to you. It's like you've got to cleanse, clear everything, because everything's coded. And that's why, you know, if you're not vaccinated, you don't go to someone that's vaccinated to work on you, because then you're getting codes that have been manipulated, and it could actually make you feel worse, make you feel sick, and then you come away being sick and not from the cause that you went in there to get healing or treatment for. And a lot of people that are going for massage work, or a lot of people that are going in for different healings, are coming away with flus and colds and that, because a lot of people are still carrying spike protein even if they're not vaccinated, because they're working on people that have been vaccinated. They're not cleansing themselves between clients, and then they're passing it on to you. So you've got to keep up your protection. You've got to do your protection work. Yep, absolutely, Teresa and I just said it at the same time. Yes, and like the hospital staff, they pass it on to you. So, of course, you get a lot worse. Or you come away with an illness. And that's what happened to me sort of in the middle of COVID. And I had the bad shoulder in Brisbane. And I went to a physio, and he was coughing and blowing his nose. He shouldn't have even been at work. And he was working on me with one hand. He didn't even stand and work on me properly. He worked on me with one hand, and I came away with bronchial pneumonia. I ended up getting really, really sick. Went down for 3.5 weeks because he'd been vaccinated, and he'd been working on vaccinated patients. And he wasn't awake to how to protect and look after yourself and cleanse yourself spiritually. So whatever he had on him in his energy field, he passed on to me. And of course I came in clean, and even though I was protected, it was just too severe. It just went in me, bang, like that. So we do have to be careful, and that's why the medical profession is collapsing as well, because there's so many of us that won't accept that they're not clean. They're not clean. They're actually spiritually dirty. And so we have to be really, really careful of that too. I mean, I haven't been to a doctor since 2014. I wouldn't even know where to go or where to look for a doctor. I don't do doctors, so I wouldn't have a clue. I don't trust them, so I wouldn't go anyway. But if I had to go to hospital, I'd rather die. I say, no, don't take me to the hospital. I'd rather die. Don't save me. I'm not going to a hospital. I'm done. Let me go. Because you're going to die anyway when you get there. So that's really a few things I wanted to discuss. And then we talked about the war and how that was going to look, and it's street war. Well, it's happening already in a lot of places, as I said. So, you know, with these marches, and then they're all fighting in the street, and it's in the UK, they've got put the flag up. And not to be afraid of it, because Trump's already said that he's stopping the Muslims now travelling into the US. He's already onto it. He knows what's happening. He knows this is the collapse that's coming. And, you know, they do have to go back to their own countries. They do have to go back and live their own lives in their own countries and their own culture to put things right again. Because New Earth can't be fully created in the state that it's in now, the Earth, the old Earth we're talking about in the Matrix. That all has to be cleared up and cleaned. And this is in the next, this next 9-9 gateway change that we're moving into. That's the period we're moving on to, the big clean up, the big move them back, put them back in their right countries, go back to how it was, and then we can start putting things into place for the new earth, and that's when the abundance codes will arrive. But it's not going to be a war where, you know, you stand at the wharf and watch the men go off on the Navy freights and they're in uniform and that. It's not that. It's just what I call a silent war. And it's one of the last wars of Earth, put it that way. And what it comes down to is religion. And it's God showing the world religion was never meant to be. Religion shouldn't be a thing. And so what's happening is they're going in and telling these migrants and whoever, I'm talking about the illegal ones, the ones that have come in deceitful, lying, coming through back doors on boats, trucks, whatever. I'm talking about the soldiers that have been put up in hotels wanting to fight, ready, waiting for their orders. They all have to go back and make good again. Because they're pushing for Sharia law in these countries, in a Western country. It makes no sense. Why would you migrate to a Western country, Christian country, and then try to push your culture and change it? It's never been done before. It's only happening now. Normally it's the other way around. You go and you visit these countries and you adapt to their culture and their language. And so this is the change and the collapse of the world, making it back to how it was meant to be. Push people back to where they came from. And then my two girls are here, the cats and Pepper. Stop it. It's Pepper with Smudge. So this is what's happening. We have to do it. We have to fix it now. And then once that's all done, the abundance will come. However, in the streets, there will be violence. There will be aggression. But a lot of people, especially the people that are in a higher consciousness, the ones that are working in service in a different energy field, won't be part of it. You just won't see it. You'll hear about it. You'll know about it. Because there'll be country bans and there'll be flight bans. And they're all coming. So be ready for that as well. Because that's going to make it hard for you to plan things and to go away and to travel and that kind of thing. So that will come. And that's for a safety thing, a safety purpose. I mean, you don't want to go into a country where you know they're all fighting in the street and it's aggression, and it's this, that and the other. You'd rather avoid it. So that's happening. So they might shut it down for a week, or they might no travel into this part of the world for 2 weeks or whatever. And if you've booked your flights, it's going to be very, very hard for you because the airlines are going under as well. They're going to make it very hard for you to get refunded. So I'm suggesting to people now, if you're traveling soon in the next year, book everything closer to the date that you travel, not too far out, because you could end up losing quite a bit. If you lost a deposit, it's not so bad, but when you're starting to pay, you know, 8-9 grand to travel the world and do big flights or do big cruises and things like that, you're losing a lot of money. And remember, that happened at the beginning of COVID when they shut down all the cruise ships and everything, and people lost a lot of money from a lot of the cruise ships. So just another thing to be aware of. So then we've got the 1010 gateway coming, and that's on the 1010, and that's going to be amazing, because then while all this is going on in the world and you've got this mini war happening, you've got the consciousness rising, and it's going to be through this gateway a world consciousness is going to lift. So that's why it's not going to be a war of hate and pain and you know, like they've done in the Second and First World War, where they've taken prisoners and they've done horrific things to them. It's not that kind of, because the consciousness won't allow it. It'll be a fast, quick street battle, and that'll be it. And then, you know, someone's going to have to surrender, put it that way. And that's how that's going to be played out. And it will be town by town by town, by country by country by country. And it will be those top 9 nations, because they're the power holders. And then once that all happens and they all get pushed out, then we're free to move on. And this is what's happening. Then at the end of that period of time, there'll be the big collapse. It'll be an economy collapse. Everything will collapse. It'll go down to zero balance. And that's when the new Jasara Nasara comes in, and all the announcements, how they're going to pay you, how it's going to come to you, what's, you know, they've been doing with birth certificates and so forth. And that's why the digital ID is being pushed at the moment. There's 2 things going on here. You've got old systems in play from old governments saying, we want to keep an eye on you, we want to spy on you, we want to check, see where you are. They really don't need to do that, because most people that are vaccinated are already having been spied on through their phones, through that. It's all being done already. We're already getting it through our technology. We're getting it through our smart meters. They have access to your home, to your conversations, everything. So digital ID is not a bad thing, because we've already been spied on. The other thing is they're doing it because when all this is over and people have been moved around or stranded in countries and there's been bans and you've had to get back home or whatever, they need to find you and say, hey, we've got a check for you. There's not going to be any banks. The banks, as Sandra's just said, there's weird stuff. The banks don't longer exist. It's just a big front. It's actually all controlled off-world, off-planet, in digital files with your name on it. And in that file has every little detail, payment, mortgage, interest, tax, illegal things that they've made you pay for, like rates, insurance, education, everything. It's all going to come back with a percentage back to you, but they need to know where you are and have your digital ID ready to say, we'll put it into there. And so that all happened too. So that's all coming. But you've got a lot of people still in the truth community not seeing the other side of this coin. They're just seeing the fear side. Oh, we don't want that. We don't want people doing this. You're already being spied on. The smart meters on your house allows access into your house, into your every form of technology you have. They come in via that electricity. So there's that going on as well. And so when that all comes through and you start getting your payments, they can say, oh yeah, so Amelia's, she was stranded in Amsterdam, she's here, she's at this address, we now have to identify if it's her, this is her digital ID, this is how we'll know it's her. And so that's how it's all going to happen. Or it might be Sandra, she lives in Australia, but at the moment she's currently visiting great auntie Maud over in Vietnam, and she's at this address. We need to know if that's her. So that's how it's going to work. It's also going to go by your iris. So that's why they're wanting eye information, and that's why a lot of these airports and that now are asking for fingerprint and eye information, because that's going to be used for that digital ID. Now, it's no big thing, guys. I've had it done to me so many times traveling. The US has got me on file. They've got my eyes, they've got my fingerprints. Doesn't bother me because I'm protected. As long as you're protected, you keep up your protection and you understand the protection you got, you're going to be fine. So I hope that all helps you. I hope that gives you a bit more understanding of where I was coming from yesterday, the channelings that came through, the 9-9 gateway going into the 10-10 gateway, and then the new earth forming. And as you've seen from diagrams that I've done in the past, we're forming a diamond. We're not going to be a round, flat earth. We're going to be a flat earth inside a diamond. And that's the diamond consciousness that will hold us there in that consciousness, which is new earth. And that can never be infiltrated, broken into, hijacked or anything, because the diamond is the highest form of consciousness. And then what will happen is everything else that I have put on YouTube will be available to you until anything happens to YouTube. I'll just leave it up there, because share all those transmissions, share those channelings and the messages, because the more we get it out there, the more people will start to understand and realize what's really going on. It's not about waking people up anymore. It's just to stop them from being fearful, because there's going to be a lot of fear. Then I'm going to channel a message for Father's Day, because it's currently Father's Day in New Zealand, Australia. I don't know what other countries have Father's Day today. Information. Well, I hope that helps you understand a little bit more, not just for the people that work with me weekly, but the people that are new to this, and the people that get an understanding of what really going on in the world. It helps you to share the information with other people when things start to come up in conversation. So that's the other purpose of it. So now I'm going to channel a message for Father's Day. This is for every father. There's no judgment here. I mean, I had a crappy father. Full stop. Yeah, you connect the dots exactly, hun. And what happens is, you know, with father, I don't really like this whole commercialism, Mother's Day, Father's Day. You know, every day is a father, Mother's Day. Every day is a birthday or arrival day here on earth. Every day is a certain day. It doesn't have to be a specific day, but because it is, and because I can't get past it without acknowledging it, I wanted to give a message to the fathers of the world. Some fathers are shocking, let's face it. There's fathers out there that have been not there for their kids, that don't know how to be fathers and need help to be fathers. But it depends again on that person's journey. It's not for us to judge. And this is half the problem with the world today. Because it's not seen normal to them, they judge you. Now, we don't know what's going on in that person's private life. We don't know what background they've come from, what DNA bloodline they've come from, what spiritual connections that they have from past bloodlines and so forth. It's the same with mothers. It's the same with everybody. We're all connected together on this journey and we're learning. And a lot of the time we do learn from watching other people, whether it be good or whether it be bad. It depends on the situation, of course. Me and my counselling and life coaching work that I've done in the past, being on the phones and being able to do, I've just been lucky to be able to be in a position where I can counsel people and I can hear their problems and try and work them through it. Well, you know, you can never judge. You can only just listen and learn. And the amount of journeys and stories and things you hear, you actually become very grateful because you start to understand the different journeys that people are on and where they've come from and why they are the way they are. And a lot of it is ego, a lot of it is inner child work that needs healing, and a lot of it is, you know, some sort of addiction. That's what makes bad parenting. But it's not bad in the way that they've gone off and done some horrific crime. It's about they just don't know how to be a parent because of their background and because of their spiritual, their DNA and bloodline and so forth, which is what I was talking about before. So for me to channel a message for Father's Day, it's about channeling for all those fathers, good, bad, in the middle, whatever, because it's not for us to judge. And it's for us to be able to honour them, knowing that they brought life into this world. We don't know how well that life has done. That life is now on a journey that we're learning from that journey, and that journey that they gave life to, and so forth. Circle of life. And so we want to honour all the fathers today. It's hard to be a father because ego gets in the way, especially with the wounded masculine. You don't often see it with the wounded masculine. It comes out in other forms, but there's a lot of wounded masculine out there that needs support and help and love and understanding. I mean, the womb man has done a lot of divine work, but it's now coming into that new era where the energy is about helping the wounded ego, the wounded divine masculine. And it wasn't until I was talking to Teresa this morning, she said, you realise it's Father's Day? And I went, really? I said, because it means nothing to me, people. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I got, well, should I channel a message? And they said, yes. And I said, okay, then let's do it. And who am I going to channel? I'm going to channel the Brotherhood of Man. Now, who are the Brotherhood of Man? Now, I've done channeling from them before. In fact, I think they're in one of my books. I'm not sure if I put them in my book or not. The Brotherhood of Man and the Apostle of God is the Brotherhood from the very beginning of time, and the Apostle of God, which were the leaders that came out and taught and showed the way. They were and walked with Jesus and some of the great ascended masters. So you've got the ones that work with Buddha, the ones that work with Krishna, the ones that work with all the Indian gods, all the gods of the past. And so they're called the Apostle of God. And then you've also got the Brotherhood of Man. And they're coming through to give the message for the Father's Day today. So we'll get ready for that. So hand on heart, and I'll bring them through. So the Brotherhood of Man is mostly the disciples of Jesus and other leaders. The Apostle of God are the teachers to the teachers. Dear beautiful souls of the Creator, of the Father himself, the brothers and the sisters, to you all we come in peace, love and harmony to speak with you on this occasion, to give you understanding and support, to show you the way, to help you to see and to know the truth. We come to make praise of the fathers of today who have it very hard, that have it different from the past and are now here to bring the change, to heal the wounded, to heal the ego, and to make good again and peace with the masculine. We come to make good. We come to honour you and to help you and to give you strength, to acknowledge what you're doing and to help give you guidance where is needed. But the biggest thing today is that you are honoured in the hands of God, for you are here to provide life. And for that you are praised and given thanks to. Some of you do good, some of you do bad, some of you are not sure, but just know that you are still loved and you are understood, and you can ask for forgiveness any time. But that's not important. The thing is that you are here to create life, to show the way, to teach the ways, and learn to heal the ego, to heal the pain, the broken past that once was. So you're being a very strong bridging energy to the energy of the new babies coming, to the ones that you have, and to the ones from the past. So we honour that of you today and the wonderful blessings that you bring and the ways that you show, the ways that you create, and the way that you give. So thank you from us, from the Lord, from God himself, and from all that is of love light. We bring you this message today. So that was the message from the Apostle of God and the Brotherhood of Man for Father's Day. And if you have any questions, or I will put it into a video for you to use and to share, maybe your father or brother or uncle, grandfather, to any strong masculine energy in your life. So the biggest thing we're understanding is that pain and that brokenness, and that's now on the men. That's going to be good. It's getting good. You know, and it's important to remember there is no right and wrong, as they said. You're still loved. So that was my message and my thing I can do for the fathers of the past, of now, the present, and the future. And, you know, we've got to remember that it's not easy being a parent. It was probably one of the hardest jobs we were ever going to have. And nobody ever knows how to really, truly parent. Because parents are meant to work in a community together and have support of others. It's not a thing you do single-handedly, and yet that's how the world has become. And because you either mess up or you do something that's not considered right, you're totally judged for it, and that's wrong. It's not for us to do that. We should be supportive more and help more in places. I think the biggest thing we have to remember at this time too is that when change comes, there's that restlessness and unanswered questions that you want. So if you feel, you know, there's something that you need answers to, it's now the time when change is coming. That's the biggest thing that we're finding at the moment, is there's so many questions out there, but we're still not sure. We still don't have the answers for it. So, you know, me telling you a little bit more about the galactic meeting that I channeled from yesterday, the Marys, Saint Germain, you know, it's just so promising, everything that is now coming through and the hard work that we've all been doing as a collective, as a community of light workers, truth speakers, you know, way showers, we're finally getting to the point that we've been waiting for. And, you know, it's exciting. But again, because we're going through change, there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of uncertainty because, okay, so what's going to happen here? Or what's going to happen over here? That kind of thing. But we are, just remember, we are always protected. And we are being cared for because we chose to come back and do this mission. So travel plans next year, yes, they could be tricky. Leave it to the very last minute before you book, at least a month out, because you don't know which countries will be affected from the travel bans, and it could be a sudden thing, like a major riot has broken out in that particular city or town, and then you can't get in. They won't let you in. They'll just shut everything down. Yeah, travel plans could be tricky. I mean, even for us to go to Uluru next year, we'll leave it right to the very end, because if we don't get to the very end and we've already booked, we could lose the cost. You know, that's what it's, we may not because we're protected, but it's just how I'm being shown for others to understand. Okay, Johanna, I am working on that story for you too, by the way, which we could do a live on down the track to introduce that to people. Johanna's compiling a book and getting it published for an animal retreat in Ireland, and all the stories that are going into the book are from different parts of the world, from people she knows and their pets or their rescues. And then that's going to be an amazing book, and it's going to be a book of codes again, because with everyone's writing and their caring hearts that have rescued animals, that will then put the code into the book that will share with the reader. So it's going to bring in finance, abundance, enough to keep this retreat going, her friend's animal retreat. Yeah, so we'll do that soon, when that's all published and up, and we can share it and do a little bit of a review with it. That's going to be exciting, and that's what I was just saying. I've got a story to put in it. And all these different stories from different parts of the world. It's just going to be incredible. All right, guys. So that's me for now. And I will keep you posted over the coming weeks what's coming for the 1010 Gateway. But as I've said, I've been slowly working on this 99 Gateway, which has been very, very powerful. So if you've learned something here, you can share it with your friends and families and people that are wanting to learn and understand what's going on in the world. Share all the videos from YouTube, because some of them are the healings or the transmissions with the codes, and then there's the full videos which will help people and give them some sort of comfort, or be able to give them something to relate to, because some of the messages I got overnight were people saying, I can relate to this. This is relatable now. I'm getting it. You know, people are starting to understand it a little bit more. Okay, take care. Have a beautiful week. Have a wonderful celebration in the 99 Gateway. Bring in that change and have some fun. And I'll see you on the other side at the 1010 Gateway. Bye for now. And again, thank you all for your love and your support and your kind messages. I do appreciate it. Bye for now.